These 6 people could be winning £10,000. But to do so, they must eliminate all the others. It's Dog Eat Dog. Welcome to Dog Eat Dog. Well, any of our contestants could be leaving with £10,000 tonight, but to do so, they must ruthlessly exploit everything they know about their opponents. We sent them away for 24 hours so they could well and truly suss each other out. We also gave them some formal tests designed to show us what secret strengths they may have been trying to hide. Who do you think will be leaving £10,000 richer?
Carolyn compares herself to Margaret Thatcher. Make sure your home's spick and span before you invite Carolyn around for allowances. She was once a toilet cleaner assessor. Michelle is many things to many people, not least her boyfriend, who thinks of her as Fidel Castro. She's also a campanologist, a professional body piercer, and was the best female wrestler in her school. Sam says she knows she's top dog because her parents told her so. She states her skills as having fiery red hair down to her waist and attracting idiots. Policeman Ali can make himself look pregnant. Chris is a mental health worker. He was once arrested in Hamburg for setting up a tent in the middle of a traffic island. Super competitive Gary will do anything to win. He's a PE teacher. That's what they told us, but how have they been preparing for tonight's big match?
I'm hoping that people think I'm not as smart as I am. I have an American accent, I've got blonde hair, and I've been trying to just seem kind of ditzy and like I don't care.
I deserve to win because I'm sick and tired of becoming second in everything I do. I want to win badly because I'm going to get married.
I am strong and I am possibly manipulative.
I think the rest of the group might think I'm maybe a bit quick and a bit of a smart ass, which is worrying.
I initially came here with a strategy. The strategy was to win.
If I was honest, I can win Dog Eat Dog. Watch and learn.
You're all laughing now. Nervously, I should imagine. Well, that won't last long. OK, so here's how the game works. In each round, I'm going to set a challenge, and you must each nominate one opponent to take it on. Whoever gets the most nominations will face the challenge. If they fail, that's it. They're out of the game and must make their way over to the loser's bench over there, waving goodbye to that £10,000 as they do so. But if they succeed, it's time for revenge, because they can send any of those who nominated them onto the loser's bench in their place. OK, so who will be our first victim? It's time to find out in our opening game, which tests observation skills. Will appear on this monitor, and the challenge is to match it to one of these flags. If the images match, the background goes white and a new image appears. However, if an incorrect choice is made, the background will turn red and the player will be locked out for 2 seconds. They cannot pass and have just 90 seconds to make 16 matches. So, it's time to make your first judgment of the evening. Who are you going to nominate for the challenge? Make your choice now. Well, the votes are in, but first let's hear what happened on the away day.
The results of our test show that Gary and Michelle would do well in an observation challenge, while police officer Ali's observation skills are virtually non-existent.
With Ali's observation skills, crime rates must be soaring.
I'm a police officer, I get paid for my powers of observation, and unfortunately, under pressure, I was no good at the observation.
I think Ali's a typical cop. He was just outside eating a donut.
I'm OK at observation, provided I know what I'm ready to be observing. Some of the tests are a bit tricky. There were 2 dull moments in there. By dull, I mean dull. Dull.
Every time I strike a conversation, it's either dismissed or overlooked.
I wish being an idiot was an arrestable offence.
Or the conversation's changed.
If it was, I'd put Carolyn in a cell and throw away the key.
Or eyes just glaze over like they're just not interested.
I loathe Carolyn with a passion. If I had to describe her, I would say she is a complete idiot.
When it came down to the observation test, I was the daddy. I think the difference between Gary and Chris is that Gary actually listens.
Really couldn't believe Chris. He's let everybody know that he's good at general knowledge, maths and English.
Whereas Chris was too busy trying to prove to everybody else that he could do everything and anything.
I don't trust Gary. Gary's eyebrows meet in the middle.
Ali, no chance.
My mother always told me never trust anybody whose eyebrows meet in the middle.
Nice but dim. Go back to your tracks.
So, you got on well then. Right, let's have a look at how you voted tonight. Sam?
Ali.
Ali?
Chris.
Michelle?
Ali.
Chris?
Gary.
Carolyn?
Ali.
And Gary?
Michelle.
No one voted for Sam. We knew she was top dog. Ali, by your own admission, you were useless. How are you going to do with this one?
I think I'll crack it.
All right, come with me. Let's see how you get on. All right, Ali. You had 3 votes against you, but don't let that put you off. Are you feeling confident?
Quietly.
Good. Well, you cannot pass, and you must make 16 matches inside 90 seconds. All right? Good luck. Ali, your fight for survival starts now. Seconds left. Come on. 10 seconds left. That was criminal. It was, wasn't it?
It was. Gutted.
But it was a tough one.
Yep.
Great disappointment.
Indeed.
Go and take your disappointment to the loser's bench. Ali, ladies and gentlemen. So, 1 down and 5 left, and Michelle's looking very relieved there, aren't you? Okay, so who's going to be fighting for survival next in our physical challenge? Here's how it works. This is the Rock, a motorised climbing wall. The challenge is to stay holding on to the rock face as the wall moves and tilts at various speeds and angles. If the player touches the ground, climbs over the top or falls off, it's game over. They must keep holding on for 90 seconds. So, who do you want to nominate for the physical challenge? Ladies and gentlemen, make your choice now. Let's look back at the physical side of their away day.
Running around the football pitch after school has paid off for Gary, who topped the class in the physical. Chris and Carolyn are the clear-cut outsiders.
Chris was quite pathetic on the climbing wall. He came up with the excuse that his trainers were slippy, which I think was absolute load of rubbish.
I'm fairly confident of being able to do any physical challenge, really.
I've actually seen more strength in a low alcohol lager.
As far as physical abilities, Carolyn stood out as not having them.
Maybe it's because she's from up north.
Don't think that because somebody wasn't very good at a rope swing that they're not going to be good at anything physical, because that's not the case.
She's had a few too many pies.
Michelle showed that she wasn't afraid of anything on the outdoor activities.
Michelle was amazing on the climbing wall. I was watching Michelle's bottom for a while while I was going up.
I hope one of the men vote me because I'd like to get them out.
A few harsh words there, but let's see who you voted for tonight. Sam.
Carolyn.
Michelle.
Gary.
Chris.
Carolyn.
Carolyn. Chris. Gary.
Carolyn.
Well, Carolyn, you got 3 votes against you. I don't know. Sam, you voted for Carolyn. Why did you not go for Chris? He was the worst on the away day.
I actually disagree on that. I was with Carolyn around the course, and I actually thought she was struggling.
Okay. Well, it's your challenge, and I'm sure you're going to rise to it. Come with me, Carolyn. Let's see how you get on. Okay, so while Carolyn's getting ready, remember that if she goes over the top or if any part of her body touches the floor, she's history, and she has 90 seconds to stay on that wall. Carolyn, take up your position. Are you ready?
Yes.
Carolyn, your fight for survival starts now. Well, Carolyn, I have to say, there's just 30 seconds left, and you were so close, you were doing so well, but just at the end there, your trainer was touching the mattress and then you came off. What was going through your mind?
It's difficult. It really is difficult when it tilts. When it starts speeding up, you just got to keep going.
And you've got Harvey standing there going, quicker, quicker, quicker.
I am.
But you're out of the game. But I'd quite like to be a fly on the wall over on the losers' bench now, because you're going to join Ali, and I suspect you've 1 or 2 things to say to him, haven't you?
Just a few.
All right, let's hear it for Carolyn. So, 2 down and 4 left. Well, I wonder who's going to be struggling in our next round, which tests math skills. It works like this. A starting number, for example, 10. I will then read out a calculation like multiplied by 37. The answer is 370, which becomes the new starting number. The chosen player cannot pass and must complete 10 calculations within 90 seconds. So, who are you going to nominate for the maths challenge? Make your choice now. Before we find out who they've chosen, let's see how they coped with maths on the away day.
In our formal math test, brainy Chris excelled, leaving the others in his wake. Those with most to fear are Sam and Michelle, for whom math is clearly a problem area.
I don't think Sam's that good at maths.
Gary will win at all costs, whatever it takes. He will do it.
I think Michelle struggled a bit with FizzBuzz.
My math skills are strong, but against the clock, I might have a problem.
I'm a little bit concerned by personal hygiene. Sam revealed that she only washes her hair twice a week.
One thing I could never take away from Carolyn is her dinner.
We do need to wash a little bit more often than that, don't we?
Gary, I don't think I'd like to be on a desert island with Gary. I think he would irritate the pants off me very, very quickly.
I think Chris would better be suited for something like Countdown, as that's where all the old people seem to go.
Oh, lovely, Chris. Never mind. OK, let's see who you voted for. Sam.
Michelle.
Michelle.
Sam.
Chris.
Sam.
Gary.
Sam.
3-1, Sam. Well, there's no doubting about it. Your math skills, not that fantastic.
Not great.
Not looking forward to this one, then.
Not really.
Let's get it over and done with, shall we? Come with me. All right, Sam, so remember, you cannot pass, and you have 10 calculations to make inside 90 seconds. Are you ready?
Ready.
Okay, your fight for survival starts now. Divided by 10.
5.
Correct. Times 5.
25.
Correct. Plus 35.
60.
Correct. Divided by 4.
15.
Correct. Plus 129.
144.
Correct. Divided by 4.
26.
Incorrect. Divided by 4.
76.
Incorrect.
Nine.
Incorrect.
Thir 38.
Incorrect.
36.
Correct. Minus 22.
14.
Correct. Times 6.
84.
Correct. Plus 1412. Sam, you were just too short there. Did swimmingly until it got a bit stuck.
I did. Gutted.
Little bit or a lot?
A lot.
Okay. Well, you'll have to take your guttedness to the losers' bench, I'm afraid, and join Ali and Carolyn. Ladies and gentlemen, Sam. So, we're down to the final 3. Still smiling, Michelle?
Yep.
Good. Well, up next is our language challenge. Here's how it works. Now, the challenge is to move the letters around this grid to form 3-letter words along the middle. For example, lid. When our player has formed a new word, they must hit the button, say the word, and wait for me to verify it before moving on. No names or abbreviations are allowed, and all words must be in common usage. They must create 8 words in 90 seconds. So, who are you going to nominate for the language challenge? Please make your choice now. Here's how they coped with language skills on the away day.
According to the results of our language test, the man to avoid is Chris, while Sam's departure leaves Michelle bottom of the pile.
I think Michelle would struggle at a language challenge because of the English-American translation.
I am an educated person, I do have a degree, but the fact that I'm American, I run into problems because the language is different here.
Chris, mate, I'm afraid you need to find a personality.
So, God, if you ever go to discos, you're going to be laughed off the floor. You all have handbags and they're white and you wear white stilettos and you're all from Essex.
I think Caroline's got some fixed opinions, which I don't particularly like. I've not really taken to her.
I think that Gary could be poor at a language challenge because he's all testosterone, and I think that's about his strongest point.
All right, onwards and upwards. Let's see who you've chosen. Michelle.
Gary.
Chris.
Gary.
Gary.
Michelle.
Your little vote was sort of surplus to requirements, really, after that. 2 votes against 1. How are you feeling about this one, Gary?
Fine.
Yes? Yep. Confident?
Yep.
Speak up, because here we go. Okay, Gary, as you know, you've got to find 8 words that are in common usage, and you have 90 seconds in which to do it. Are you ready?
I am.
Gary, your fight for survival starts now. Correct. No, incorrect. Correct. Correct. Oh, Gary, it was a tough one. I don't know if you were aware, but you did miss quite a few. You got them, but you obviously didn't see them. You managed to get 3. We needed 8, so I'm afraid that's it for you. You've got to go and find some consolation on the loser's bench now, I'm afraid. Let's hear it for Gary. Well, and then there were 2. Congratulations on getting this far, but I'm afraid there's only one of you that's going to be top dog and have the chance of playing for £10,000. The other is going to make his or her way over to the loser's bench over there, because you're now about to go head-to-head in a game that's all about staying cool under pressure. Come with me and I'll show you how it works. In this game of stealth, the challenge is to walk all the way across your touch-sensitive grid to your end podium over there. Now, it's a race, but you will need to move as smoothly and evenly as possible, because any sudden movement will trigger your alarm and send you back to the last square you successfully cleared. The smoother you go, the further you'll get. The first to their podium at the end there will be playing for £10,000. Okay, so are you ready? Take up your positions. Michelle and Chris, your fight for survival starts now. It was a close one, it was a tough one, and it was an impossible one, wasn't it, Chris?
A bit difficult. Yeah, I've never lit so many lights in my life.
It was like Blackpool. Well, that's it for you, I'm afraid. You're going to join the others on the losers' bench. It's been great to have you. We'll hear from you a little later on. Let's hear it for Chris. Well, madam, you better stop shaking, because you're shaking like a leaf at the moment. Now, throughout the show, you've used fantastic knowledge of your fellow opponents, and you've put that to good use. You've chosen the right ones to fail at the right challenges. There's one thing that stands between you and the £10,000, and it's 5 general knowledge questions, okay? So you're going to need to put that knowledge to use just one last time. But before we do that, let's just have one last look at the away day for any new clues.
When it comes to general knowledge, Ali is not too bad. He reads The Sun.
Chris hates it when he gets things wrong. He hates it even more when everybody else gets it wrong.
Ali's a bit of a country bumpkin, so I don't really think he's got that much of a general knowledge.
My impressions of Chris when it comes to general knowledge is he frightens me.
General knowledge games. Unfortunately, I didn't get much chance to answer any of the questions yesterday because I had Chris on my team.
Gary was in my team on the in the pub quiz. It was great to have him on my team because I really wouldn't want to come up against him.
Gary showed that he's got good knowledge in a few topic areas.
Sam did struggle. She did complain that the questions weren't really for her. I think really she's only got an idea about girly things.
Okay, Michelle, I have here 5 questions, each in a different category. Now, as each category comes up, you must decide which of the losers is most likely to get that question wrong. Now, you need to choose your loser very carefully because, of course, you can pick them only once. For each question they get wrong, you score a point. For each question they get right, they score a point. It's the first to 3 points who will win the £10,000. If you win the £10,000, hurrah, it's yours. If they win the £10,000, they'll split that money between the 5 of them. Okay? Is that clear? Yes. All right. Shall we play for £10,000? Yes. Let's do it. All right, Michelle, your first category is history. Who knows least about history, do you think?
I would like to pick Ali.
Which Queen of England only ruled for 9 days in 1553?
Mary the First.
You say Mary the First. The answer is Lady Jane Grey. 1 point to Michelle. The next category, Michelle, is science. Who's rubbish at science?
Sam, please.
In Einstein's equation E equals mc squared, what does the m stand for?
Gravity.
The m stands for mass. 2 points to Michelle. Okay, Michelle, you were shaking earlier. No doubts you're shaking like a leaf right now. Yes. You're 1 point away from walking away from here with £10,000. The next category is sport. Who's least sporty?
I'm going to choose Carolyn.
Carolyn, your team desperately needs a point here, or you're going to be handing over £10,000 to Michelle. Is that clear? Mm-hmm. Here's the question on sport. In which British city was the 2001 FA Cup final held?
Cardiff.
You say Cardiff, you're absolutely right. 1 point to the losers. Well, Michelle, you're still only 1 point away from £10,000. The next category is music. Who's going to know nothing about music? Gary or Chris?
That's a hard decision. I'm going to choose Gary.
Your team needs a point to stay in the game, as you know, Gary, so the pressure's on. Which composer wrote the operas Madame Butterfly and La Bohème?
Puccini.
You say Puccini, you're absolutely right. Well, Michelle, this is as tense as it gets. The next category is food and drink. Chris, step forward, please.
Yes.
Well, Chris, your team were behind at the beginning. You've caught up now, so all the credit to you. But of course, it's now a tie. The first to 3 points. For £10,000, here's the question on food and drink. From which country did tea originate? From which country did tea originate?
China.
You say China for £10,000. You're absolutely right. Don't be too upset. I don't know what to say in consolation. You were so close. You were ahead. What's going through your mind?
I don't...
Speechless.
I'm speechless. I'm just wrecked over it. I knew the answers to most of those questions. I knew they'd get them.
Well, you did very well to start off with, but they're still your friends. Go over and say hello. Let's hear it for Michelle. Well, that's Dog Eat Dog, ladies and gentlemen. See you next time, and remember, every dog has its day. Good night.